Guys, my name is Nonima Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to also look at the exchange that was happening there. Let's continue with that because Sana, a lot happened. Right now, we are looking at the chain of custody debate because it went as far as that. Initially, the debate started with missing OB arguments. They were arguing about missing OBs. Now, it went as far, Uramsipile took it very far. He took it to chain of custody debate now. Now, what was happening there is that the exchange was actually very revealing because it exposed the real fight behind the missing registers. The defense was no longer just saying the SEP 10 and the SEP 14 are missing. They are now explaining why those registers matter. What stood out strongly here is how the defense, especially through Advocate Ramsipile and other defense counsels, Umnisi, shifted the argument away from documents now and toward chain of custody and accountability. The state tried to reduce the issue to you already have enough registers. Uramsipile nomnisi baba like I was loco. That you won't do. Now, but the defense answered, no, we need the identity of the actual officer, of the actual receiving office. I think this was Nisi that was saying this. That changes everything now. The critical point raised was this. When Bongani Sandison Danzi arrived at Pretoria North Police Station or Valeria holding facilities, somebody physically received him. According to the kernel's evidence, there is always an officer who accepts custody, process detention, signs for it, and becomes responsible for the detainee. Now, we need that information. We need that information. The defense is saying, identify that person. Please bring that person forward. Because once that person is identified, they can be questioned about physical condition, injuries, property, movement, cell placement, visitors, searches, phones, assault allegations, and detention chronology. That is the real target, Kengoku. And notice how the judge, you know how he rolls, started simplifying the issue almost mechanically now. You know how he is. Check the cell register. Check the dates, check who signed, identify the officers, reconstruct the timeline. You know, let me keep, the judge was basically saying, surely this can still be reconstructed. Sir, things are bad. Things are bad. But the defense problem is bigger than the reconstruction that they are trying to do there. Their concern is if the original receiving register is absent, then gaps appear, accountability becomes diluted, and witnesses can later say, I don't remember, I was not the one receiving I was not the receiving officer, I only saw him later, that was another shift. All of that changed. They want the real things in defense. Now, that is why they are resisting the idea that the SEP 14 alone is enough. Another important moment, the state corrected the earlier suggestion that SEP 14 is not helpful. That correction matters legally because SEP 14 contains SEP 13 references, SEP 22 references, property movement indicators, detention details. So the state is trying to argue the defense already has enough procedural breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs are not the same as identifying the accountable custodian, Kesan. Uramsipile was like, right. That distinction is massive, Kesan. And then the judge introduced something interesting, the possibility of using payroll. Payroll, my lord. What do you mean? Staff rosters, signatures, duty allocations, and cell authorization signatures to reverse engineer who was present. Okay, that tells you the court was now entering a reconstruction phase because the primary documentation appears compromised or unavailable. The danger for the state is this. If the defense successfully proves uncertainty about who received Ntanzi, uncertainty about his movements, uncertainty about custody transitions, uncertainty about property handling. Then every later event becomes vulnerable. Alleged phone discoveries, alleged confessions, alleged movements, detention conditions, assault allegations, and chain of custody evidence. This is why the missing registers are becoming bigger than just missing books. They are slowly becoming a credibility crisis about the detention system itself, and the defense clearly understands that. And it looked like Judge Ratta at some point, he, as much as yesterday, he showed signs of understanding what was going on. Today, there's a network loss somewhere. Ubalo yena understands what is going on. That is why he is holding on to the information with the SAPS. They are holding on to it. They are claiming it was. So that is why Ramsipile, when he speaks, he says, you are asking the wrong person. Me, I never said they were missing. The state said so. The police said so, not me. The prosecution and the police, that's the state that is saying that, not Ramsipile. So that is why he was more like making it very clear that I am saying I want them because I want to ask questions. Ngazo. So don't come here, my lord, and say, nah, I said they are not. They are very much available in, as far as I know, as Ramsipile. So I like how he is so, he has decided to put it, you can try your destructive ways. Me, I'm a very focused gent, and I want what I want. I want what I want, and I am going to get what I want, no matter what. And now the other smart thing that Ramsipile is doing there, I don't know if you guys noticed this, he puts everything on record, and he is intentional when he is doing that. And there is this little conversations, side conversations or consultations between Ramsipile and Mnisi and the other lawyers. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There is these side conversations that they do. For me, that is them working to, that's teamwork. Bravo. Bravo, because these two, Ramsipile, I don't think he was ever a prosecutor, but Mnisi and Nxumalo, because it was them today were present in court. I believe those two, their experience as prosecutors is coming in handy for this case. Everything that is happening there, the way they fight, the way they are not just anticipating, they know what is next. They always know, Uguchi, if this happens, this is going to happen. If Baloyi behaves like this is how to pull him back. If the judge is acting this way, this is how you get him into order without any disrespect or any emotions or whatsoever, but they pull you back into the line. And I love what Nxumalo is doing there. I'll talk about that at a later stage. But what I'm trying to say in this video is that Ramsipile brought the house down, making sure that good the good of his client is put into perspective. And no, he's fighting. He's fighting for his client, and no one can tell me otherwise, guys. It's phone dance. He's putting his big boots, and he's like, Ngena Daka. He's entering there at Dakeni by all means necessary and fighting for his client. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.